Hello, welcome to the Class 100 platform guide for Class 100's newest platform. My name is Ben and I'm going to be taking you through this today. So, first things first is the new login page. It's the same as the last login, so you just need to enter your last login details. Okay, once you're in, you're going to see a general dashboard which will give you access to what's going on, so upcoming classes and the information in your local area, such as your time and date, in comparison to the information in China, such as time and date. This is the same as the last platform, but slightly more condensed and a little bit clearer. You've also got your schedule, which again looks a lot clearer on the new platform. If you go ahead and you bring your cursor over to the date where you have your class and you click, it's just going to pop open a window which will show you the class you've got coming up, just for a quick reference. Now, we've got the equipment check as we did before. You can go ahead and press that and choose your camera and your microphone input. And then from there, we're just going to go back and click enter. Hello! So, we're in today's class, and what you can see straight from the beginning is that our PPT is now front and center, right there in the middle. And that's a real help for everybody. You can see on the right-hand side, where I am, hello, that you have your teacher's screen, your teacher video feed, and a very useful clock next to that. The clock is the course countdown timer, which will give you the actual time for the class. So around about 30 minutes, depending on the class. You can see on the left-hand side that we have an updated toolbar. Now, pay attention very closely to normal, PPT full, teacher full, and whiteboard. When you are in PPT full, the PPT has gone full screen and the students can no longer see you. You will need to click back on normal for that to go back to the normal screen where the students can see you and they can also see the PPT. That is the same for teacher full, where the teacher is now in full screen to practice things like pronunciation. So we go back to normal mode and again they can see the PPT and the teacher side by side. One of the cool features of the new platform is the marker feature. If we click on marker, what we can then see is a set of options for width and colors down the bottom. A good thing to note is that if you are using a PC or PC screen, then you're actually going to be able to see everything on your whole screen, including the colors. So no need for scrolling, which makes things a lot easier. So we'll just go ahead and highlight. And as you can see, it's a great new feature, something that a lot of people asked for, and now we have it, so that's great. Now, before we used to double click on delete, now we only have to press it once and it will delete. If I click on text, again, I see a nice clear example of which text features I need, and I'll go ahead and click the largest text there, and I will choose the color blue. I will tap on the screen and pop in my name. Now, I can also click undo. Now, it doesn't really do much because I haven't clicked something else. So, now that I've clicked for a new text, I then have the option to undo the last text. This has a great ability for teachers just to get rid of the last thing that they've done. Maybe they put something on the screen that they need to get rid of, like a line, or maybe they put a quick note on the screen and need to get rid of it. So it's a really handy quick tool. Go ahead and use that, and I think you'll be very happy with that. One of the things that a lot of teachers were asking for was some different shapes to highlight different things. Now, we still have the square shape and circle shape, but we have added in triangle. We can go ahead and drag just the same as before, and we can create that triangle. Again, just as before, if we click select, we can also select the triangle and move it around. We can resize it. We can even flip it. Now, there is a brand new feature which is rotate, and you can now rotate all shapes. So go ahead and have a play with that, and I think you'll also really enjoy that. Next thing we want to do is we want to take a look at the pen feature. Pen feature is largely the same, except the pen lines are a little bit clearer with an increased pixelation. So you should go ahead and take a look at that. That's also quite useful. Next thing we want to do is we want to take a look down here. At the beginning of every class, it's important to note that if you do see something in the notes, if this does come up, then it has been put here for a very good reason. It is to genuinely help you to facilitate the class in the best way that the school needs you to do it. So down here it says the English level for the students and the Chinese cooperation. So we've got 5 stars, so obviously that teacher is very cooperative and we are looking forward to working with that teacher. The class is noted as enthusiastic and lively, so that will really help us in our planning and preparation. Class requirements, these are things that have been told to us by the school that the school would really like to see. And these are things that you must pay attention to, and they will really help you. So it says more T2C, teacher to student interaction, more volunteer, and more repeat. These are useful because they will help us to control the class in a way that the teacher on both ends will be very happy with. It also gives us our class frequency and a few extra notes if they've been added. So let's take a look at this. This is the equipment check, and again, anytime during the class you can press this for a quick check on your equipment, things like camera and microphone. This is the refresh function. The refresh function has been updated, so it's actually a speedier refresh. Now, we'll move over to the middle of the screen, and you can see we have extras. Here we have dice. Now, before our dice was a little bit laggy, but in this version, the dice has been improved drastically. We can click on the dice itself, and we can go ahead and see that there is no lag whatsoever, and if anything, it's actually a lot more engaging. Now, one of the things that our teachers were really asking for was a timer. Where's our timer? We need to use a timer. So, the boys in IT and girls have worked really hard to put together a very useful timer that is very user-friendly. So go ahead and click on that timer, and you can see we've got 10, 20, 30, 60, and 120 seconds. Most of our classes only require the 10, 20, and 30 seconds. So it is great just to be able to click and start, and away we go. Really useful feature. We press stop. We cannot click outside the screen to close the box. We must press the X. So more features will be added, more extras will be added in the near future. Emojis, we've still got Ollie, but we will see some more emojis coming in the future as well. Heading over to lesson plan or lesson guide, what we can see is an improved layout for our lesson guides. Now, before, our lesson guides were not even on the same system. We'd have to open them on one side of our screen and have the PPT on the other side of the screen, or even print out our lesson guides. Now, our lesson guides are built in, which is a wonderful thing. But let's go through how that looks in practice. So, if I'm here, I can see that, let's go ahead to good morning, and I'm going to go ahead to the lead-in. Now, if I press the lead-in lesson guide, I'll notice that this has grayed out. Nothing is selectable. I can only see my lesson guide. Oh no, where is my PPT? So, first thing we need to do is we need to close this, and you will see that your PPT is here. When we open the lesson guide, our PPT is still here, but it is non-movable. So you cannot skip to the next slide without closing the lesson guide and then going to the next slide. This is important to remember if you are using the lesson guide, so you don't feel stressed or you don't feel panicky if you can't seem to move to the next page. But having that lesson guide right there as a quick reference is a wonderful thing. So we're going to exit that. And the final thing that we need to look at is obviously our chat box. Now, before, what we had was Skype or WeChat, and we would send messages during class when things were going less than smoothly. However, now we have this wonderful inbuilt message system which links directly to the observer back at HQ. So if we have any issues, we can say simply, Wi-Fi not working, help. Okay. Now that'll send a direct message to the person observing the class as well as the technical team, and they'll get straight onto it and send you a message straight back directly through this help and reminder section. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the whole wrap up for Class in System 2.0. There are some updates coming in the near future, so you'll see a Class 100 2.1 very soon, but this is what you have for now. If you have any questions, go ahead and write us a WeChat message or Skype, and we'll be more than happy to support. Until then, see you again.